In 5 minutes, you'll know whether a 401k or a SEP IRA is the better retirement plan for your business. Simple, clear, no fluff. I'm Grady Cool, CEO of Cool Wealth Management. I help business owners get more out of the money that they earn. A SEP IRA and a 401k are the two most common retirement plans for business owners. Retirement plans are a great way to save money on taxes. Let's look at the pros and cons of each plan. First aspect is how much it costs to set up either a SEP IRA or a 401k. A SEP IRA is pretty darn cheap to set up most of the time. If you use an advisor, it may even be a few $100s, but at some of the larger firms like Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, etc., it may even be free. A solo 401k, meaning a 401k for someone who has no employees, can be a very similar story. Not very much paperwork and can be very cheap to set up. Now, a traditional 401k with employees, that can be anywhere from a few $100s upwards of a few $1,000s if you are using advisors to get it done and getting your paperwork right. And trust me, it's better to get your paperwork right the first time. There's a lot more documentation involved, which means that's why it costs so much more. Then there's the cost to maintain the plan once you have it set up. With a SEP IRA and a solo 401k, still pretty similar story, fairly minimal costs involved to maintain them. A 401k though, that's a different story. It can be in the range of $1,000 to $5,000, sometimes even more if you have a big 401k plan, per year in admin fees. The reason for this is compliance testing to make sure that you're actually giving money to the right people in the right way, as well as making sure you have records for all of those things. And there is the participant support. Having the website and people to be able to call around the website when you have your employees sticking money into the plan so that you don't have to answer all of their questions. Now, how much can you stick into the plan per year? With a SEP IRA, you can stick 25% of an employee's compensation into the plan, or up to $70,000 per year. The traditional 401k is a little bit different. You can stick in $23,500 for the employee's side of the plan. For employees, there is also a catch-up contribution available for those age 50 or higher of $7,500 per year. The Secure Act 2.0 for people ages 60 to 63, it's a very tight window, up to that catch-up contribution from $7,500 up to $11,250. Now, before any catch-up contributions for the employee side and the employer side, there can be a combined amount of $70,000, matching the amount that we could do for a SEP IRA. The catch-up contributions, though, those can add above and beyond that $70,000. So it's an extra $7,500 or an extra $11,250. Next big question is, how much do you have to give to your employees? Let's start with the SEP IRA. Employees can contribute. If you contribute for yourself, you have to contribute for all eligible employees the same percentage of their wages. For example, if you make $200,000 a year and you put in 5% for yourself, if your employee only makes $50,000 per year, the same percentage gets applied, not the actual dollar amount. Now, one nice thing is you don't have to contribute every year. So if you have a slow year, that means that you can skip doing contributions that year, but you do have to make sure that if you are putting things in for one employee, it has to be for all eligible employees for the same percentage. One way that business owners try to save money on retirement plan contributions is by making it so that the eligibility to get into the retirement plan are a little bit higher, thus making it so they don't have to contribute for as many eligible parties. For a SEP IRA, this means someone has to be there for 3 of 5 years and at least age 21 and have earned at least $750 in terms of earnings. Employee contributions aren't an issue for solo 401ks because they only apply to you as in solo. So let's take a look at 401ks. Employer contributions are optional. Employees can put money in, and as part of that, employers can match what employees put into it. You can design the formulas for which employees get what percentages for matching, but you do have to pass non-discrimination tests, so if you try and get creative or a little funky with this, it can get you in a little bit of trouble, a lot of bit of trouble. But this is why making sure you have good compliance behind you is a essential piece for putting a 401k together. One way around needing as much help with compliance is by having a safe harbor 401k, which means you make the same contributions for all employees with no discrimination. Thus, eliminating the need to do any sort of discrimination testing. This can be done in two ways. It's either the same matching contribution for all employees, or it is a 3% contribution on the employer side to employees, no match needed, for all employees. And when I say employees, I mean eligible employees. Eligibility can be restricted by employees needing to be at least age 21 and have worked there for at least 1 year, 2 years, in some extreme cases. Sometimes, as your business grows, you will decide that you want to either upgrade or downgrade plans as part of dealing with your business expenses. But there are some expenses to doing that. We talked about some of the expenses of setting up a plan. Well, those don't go away when you switch from something like a SEP IRA to a 401k. There is another side to this argument though. If you are just starting off and you try and go all the way with a 401k plan and it costs you a few $1,000s to set up, when you could have just had a simple SEP IRA to start, that is money that could have been just put into your business. An extra $5,000 for marketing goes a long ways sometimes. So the opportunity cost of a SEP IRA is a lot lower, whereas the switching plans later on down the road does cost you extra. So you really have to weigh the balances of how long do you think you're going to be smaller versus larger, and how much of a pain in the butt do you want to deal with to have that money during that period. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know down in the comments section which option do you think is better for you, 401k or SEP IRA.